Scottsdale Police, this is Cheryl. How can I help you?
Well, good morning, Cheryl. This is AD, please.
While the city sleeps, police receive a call. An alarm has been triggered at a downtown pawn shop.
It's a common occurrence for us to get alarm calls such as this. But this time, they're getting multiple activations, both on the roof and inside of the building, which is really strange.
With the yellow shirt wearing a backpack.
We get there and I see somebody inside of the business.
I saw him, he looked at me at the front door and took off running towards the south side.
They mouth a vulgarity and then they take off running further into the business. Not the reaction you would get for somebody who belonged inside of that building.
Police take up positions to cover every possible escape route.
Hey man, Scottsdale Police Department. It is only gonna get worse from here, okay? We need you to walk out to us with nothing in your hands.
Where did you see him on? Near the front of the store. We're gonna have to set a perimeter around the store. He's still inside the store.
We are know you are in the pawn first. You are being detained. Do not attempt to flee. Surrender yourself now with nothing in your hands.
He's up on that roof. He's going to the front. He's going to the front.
Sergeant Ingram advised over the radio that he's seen the person trying to climb over the fence. But at that point, he had jumped back into the business.
Okay, hey, stay on perimeter. Stay on your perimeter.
I didn't want our perimeter to be broken down. There'd be gaps for the person to flee without us knowing.
He's coming back. Ortiz, he's right here. He's right here. He jumped down.
We know that we have somebody, at least one person inside of the business. They're refusing to come out and obey our commands.
Everyone hold your perimeter. He's trying to get out, but he can't. He sees all of us.
If we know that there's a subject inside, we usually treat it as a barricade and we call on the SWAT team.
When I arrived on scene, all the officers who showed up first did a really good job of setting up a perimeter. There were probably 12 police cars all around the structure.
1061, we're moving up to the gate now.
Final warning.
As a SWAT officer, my job is to get information for the SWAT sergeant and the team leaders before they show up.
1061, I got the gate open. We're going to be entering the actual backyard itself.
So I kind of did a walk around to see where everybody was at, see where the entry points were. We want to maintain the upper hand tactically, so I wanted to find the surveillance cameras. Surveillance cameras are difficult for SWAT officers who are moving up to a structure because it gives the person inside the drop on you. They see us coming up on cameras, they can decide to start shooting at us.
McGee deploys a non-lethal round to take out the cameras.
Here, don't waste these. That's good.
With the surveillance cameras now disabled, police units are able to approach the rear entrance of the building without being detected.
When you get past it.
Sarge, go on his side. Moving up. A pawn shop is a unique situation where they have all types of things. They have TVs, they have furniture, but they also carry weapons and they have guns. And we don't know what type of threat we're walking into or what type of arsenal the suspects could now have by gaining access into this building.
You're inside, make yourself known.
Go ahead. Hold on, let boss work for a second. No visual.
Locked.
Yeah, it's open. Check that door for me. Locked?
Yep.
This doorknob is broken, so it doesn't.
Everything's locked? All right, let's go back, work off the car.
All right, this whole yard is clear.
While I was on my perimeter position, they started to use the drone. You can take a look on top of the building in areas that we can't really get our direct eyes on. My position was on the southeastern side of the building, and what I'm looking for is any kind of movement inside. There's always a possibility that they may try to take their chances and flee out the front door.
Once I arrived on scene, I was briefed by the patrol lieutenant. We already know that the suspect's not willing to peacefully surrender. That obviously kind of gets the hairs on the back of your neck up a little bit, that there is going to be some type of confrontation.
We got to the point of entry, which was the back door of the business. As the SWAT team is staged at the door, we do send our technical assets inside, and one being that is our tracked robot, or what we call the I-Core. We would rather avoid any type of lethal encounter. That's not what we want to do. That's why we use all these other options first, the dogs, the robots.
Once the robot got so far and we didn't see anything, we decided it was time to go ahead and physically clear that with boots on the ground.
This dude's probably gonna be in an attic somewhere. So we were thinking I might find him somewhere.
What I'm thinking about at that moment is staying calm.
Kind of the best way I could describe it is, you know, adrenaline fueled.
All right, Galbraith City, we made it through that little garage area. We're sending the dog in.
Oh, that must flow through then, huh, Baron? He went in deep.
Look at it.
Yeah, he's going in there and then he's coming back around.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's move in. Let's clear out this left sector and try and get as much as that cleared. And then we'll be home on the right. I'm on that right. Double up with Kyle and hold that. Everybody else is clear left with Baron.
One of our canine officers sent his dog in. The dog immediately went to the right and was kind of smelling on a wall. And he was on his back hind legs, kind of jumping up and down on the wall right there. And I thought that was super weird. And in my experience on the team, I've never seen that happen before.
Police! Scottsdale Police! Police canine, if you're in here, you're gonna get bit!
Me and the canine operator didn't know what it was doing because I could clearly see that area and there was no one over there. So we thought the dog had gotten thrown off by something.
I got it. Here. I got it all, Max. Here. All right, one to go down with Baron down the hallway. See, right over here? That's where he first alerted. Then he went over here and started barking at those racks. Because look, there's access.
The team comes in and we kind of do what we call a big room domination.
Is that an access pool?
It was a large storage facility with multiple rooms off of it that were stacked with just miscellaneous items from floor to ceiling. They could be hiding anywhere. The only place we knew he wasn't was under the floor because it was all concrete.
He alerted right up top of that.
He's alerting high.
Yeah, all of his alerts are off.
So we kind of just push in, slowly and methodically picking this thing apart as we move through the building.
Big opening. Light. Good boy, good boy. I got multiple. Your boss got the back. Okay. All right. Got it.
Yeah, we're steady. We pretty much cleared all the south sector, moving north. We're about halfway through the business, getting up to the showroom, which will eventually allow us to get to that east side. We're just going to breach one interior door first.
Scottsdale Police!
You guys got it? It opens up big. I can get a dog up here. Okay.
We can see you from the outside. We know you're inside. You need to surrender now. You're gonna get bit.
Now we come to a juncture where it's a natural choke point where an ambush could be set up. This is not a crisis situation where we have to rush in there and save someone. Now we can use our time and deploy more technical assets.
Leave it!
I told Detective Patton to go ahead and throw in his smaller robot, which we refer to as the dog bone.
It's called a scout robot, but actually we call it a dog bone because it looks like a dog bone. It's very effective to be thrown at really any distance. Once it lands, it gets on its wheels. It's got night vision on it and got infrared. It just gives us a little bit more confidence in what we're going into rather than going into it completely blind.
And then once you get done there, come back, clear this to the left here, and then what we'll do is we'll move up to the mouth here, take out this room.
We did not see any signs of the suspects, so we knew we were going to have to continue with the clear.
On there.
You're here. Whatever that is. There was kind of an office in the middle, but had mirrored glass all the way around it. We didn't know if the suspects were looking right at us or not.
I just want to see if he alerts on the door. You guys can back off if you want.
There was a lot of confidence that they could be hiding in there.
Yeah, get that. Let's pull back to the mouth. All right, move back here.
Hey, get your camera.
So I made the decision to deploy one of our 37mm gas rounds. It would deliver a payload of CS chemical munitions. It doesn't have any detrimental physical effects on you, but it makes you think you're having a hard time breathing.
Put like 3 in there.
If anyone's in there, it would force them to come out to us.
Arwen.
An Arwen is a weapon system that can deliver different types of rounds, and this one comes with a round that has OC on it that's made to penetrate through walls.
We're not getting any response, so we do have to physically go in there and clear it. Wearing a gas mask, it does limit your field of view, and it does make your breathing a little bit more restrictive. It does put you at a little bit of a disadvantage.
Let me know when you're on the air and I'll go off.
Can you hear me out of this? Just kind of shield the best you can across the window, then we'll flank out to the left. Flank out on the left. I got door.
I'm really trying to listen. If I can hear anybody inside move, knock something over, start coughing.
Max, you gonna swing around?
We don't know if the suspects are being affected by the gas, have covered their faces, or are still laying in wait to ambush us.
All right, go ahead. Bring your dog up into that room. Oh, never mind, you can get right to that side. Now we got this door closed. He's gonna be stuck back there. He's in with you guys.
It's completely defeating at that point because you're like, oh, there's nobody in here. We didn't solve the problem. At that moment, I felt like we had missed something. The subject had gotten away before we got there.
We're getting updates from the SWAT team, and they advised that they had cleared the entire building and they didn't find anybody. I'm thinking that the guy found somewhere to hide in there because there was no way that they got outside of our perimeter.
We were kind of getting frustrated at this point, and so everybody kind of breaks off and just starts looking in the weirdest spots, right?
Is there some door, some closet, some hiding spot that we missed? Because that is something that can happen.
We started thinking maybe they were in the ceiling somewhere.
There's a ton of times where the suspect has been in the ceiling.
At that point, we do start considering removing some of the panels to the drop ceiling to see if there is a way for someone to hide up there, or if there is an area that might allow somebody to be up there without falling through.
Essentially, what the pole cam is it's a collapsible pole, so we can extend it to 30, 40 feet. It can get really tall, and at the end of it is a camera, and it hardwired down to another remote control that has an LCD screen on it. It's got infrared capabilities, so it can see, you know, even when it's really dark up there, and what you'll do is just do a slow rotation of the camera up there.
So Dustin, there's nothing to the north, right? That's our wall? Okay, cool.
That room that you guys cleared earlier on that south side with that window with all the shit in there?
Yeah.
Is there any way you can be in there? Get the dog in there?
It didn't even seem reasonable that anybody would be able to be in these rooms. At that point, we started thinking maybe we're gonna have to start pulling all of these items out and see if maybe someone is hiding in them.